Hi everyone, welcome back to George Little Shed. Welcome back to our studio Transylvania. Has been quite a long time since I got my hands to do things, but I haven't stopped doing and working on stainless steel. I just have lots of projects on my bench and surrounding my little shed. So it's the 26th of December 2012. First thing before I get into showing what I really want to do today for you, I'd like to open this bottle of wine, and into this stainless steel glass I would just like to say I hope everyone around the world had a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you're still celebrating. I hope you guys don't spend too much money, but it's impossible. I'd like to wish you with this video clip, I'd like to wish you all the people around the world who supported me and asked me questions about welding, about stainless steel and everything, pyramids, my veggie garden and everything, my fishing video clips. I would like to wish you a Happy New Year, and I hope these days will bring you the happiest moments of your life. To all of you around the world, to my friends in Argentina, to my friends in United States, Canada, all across the Europe, to my friends in UK, Belgium, Denmark, Russia, Mongolia, India, Pakistan, Australia, in one single word, to all my friends on this planet Earth, from the bottom of my heart, I wish you a Happy New Year, and I hope in the new year to come to be able to show you more tips and more videos and share with you some of my knowledge which might be useful to you. So I hope you have had a lovely Christmas and a Happy New Year to you all. Cheers. Alright, it's not such thing like holidays for some of us. We still have ideas which are burning in our minds. What I want to show you today, it's about a tip from which I realize I can do lots of things, and it's very useful for all the tradies out there, for all the people around the world. I got a simple round pipe here with a 60mm diameter. What I want to achieve, and it's a tip of mine, and if it's useful for you, please use it. You can use it in any circumstances, in any situation. It's a quick tip. You can finish that mighty job, that mighty handrail, or you can do something around the house which can be very, very good. It started with me from just an idea to try, and then I tried to find similarities around our lives, and I'll show you what I mean. So from this round pipe, 60mm, I would like to achieve this round end, like half a ball, round, beautiful. To achieve this round, you need a cutting disc and a polishing sanding paper on your grinder. You can also do pieces of art like this by using this tip of mine, or you can be very useful to make yourself a little garlic crusher handle, just inserting a piece of wood over there and using an old cup so you can crush your garlic if you are an old-fashioned cook, maybe like Jamie Oliver. So let's start like this. My pipe has got a 60mm diameter, which means from this point to this point 60mm. How do I achieve these round shapes on a pipe? I will calculate the circumference of the circle I got here, based on the diameter, I use the pi 3.14, multiply the diameter 60, gives you a total of 188.4 millimeters. Because I will work on a half of a circle, I will divide it by 4 to find out how deep I need to do the cuts. Why do I divide it by 4? Because it will be half from this side and half from that side, so we'll describe a quarter of a ball with the diameter 60 millimeters. I don't know if you get it, but just try to understand. It's a quarter of a round ball with a diameter of 60 millimeters. So to work on one side, to find out how deep you need to cut, you divide the circumference by 4. That gives me 47 millimeters. What do I do with the 47 millimeters? Pretty simple. Use your vernier or your ruler and mark your 47 millimeters. I'll mark mine 47 all around. That means that's how deep I go. I'll do a couple of marks so I can see. Visual is good always. Couple of marks. So from the top to the end of my cut will be 47 millimeters. It's very simple. You can use on any single pipe you like. Sometimes you just don't have to do calculations, just do it random. Well, after I realize what I have done, I try to find similarities in our life, and I'll show you what I mean by similarities. There are lots of things in your life where you can think, why did I do this, and how does it look like? Which object in our life you can look at? I even end up with a round ball which I entirely type it, went halfway, and then I just sliced it. The number of cuts you're gonna do around, it's up to you. You can make as many you like, but the shape, no matter how far you go here, the shape will have to come like this. And then you go to the next one. So you can divide that circle in 10, 12s. The more you divide it, the closer to the round shape will come, to be like this, or to be like this. It's a pretty easy job to do if you think, out of a grinder and a welder. So I'll show you the process. I'll do one for you, and from this point I will use it and create a piece of art like I've done already this. Alright, this being said, all I have to do is just to mark how many cuts I want to do, and then just grab my grinder and doing the cuts. I'll show you how you will bend this by using a hammer, and it will get you there after you weld it, how to grind it, how to polish it, and it will look beautiful. So it's one of my tips. It's a very useful one. Alright, a lot of geometry, mathematics, but take all these calculations away and just, you can cut it slowly, you can bend it, hammer it slowly, and you will understand the moment you start hammering the bits after you cut them, where do you need to cut more and what do you need to do. It just comes to you as you work, as you progress in doing this. It's very simple. The pipe can be as big you like, no matter the size. You can do this round shape. and it's very useful making handrails. I've done handrails, and I didn't have the end to cap it or something. I just did it on the side, welded and polished it, and I was asked, how did you do it? Well, it was very simple. I didn't want to tell them how, but I'm telling you, because you deserve to know. My knowledge belongs to you. You people, you have the right to know, and I would like to deliver them to you. Right, my bench is very messy, so I will mark. I will use my goggles and my safety gear, and if you like to use an end of your cut, you also can tape. Use some masking tape, and that way you know you cut from top to the end. It's very easy. Use tape, use a texture, and a little vernier, or maybe a little ruler or something. Very simple. We'll get to that point and we'll start cutting and we'll see what we get. How about that? Let's get to work, and I'll show you in this little video clip how to achieve that round shape. Alright, so let me show you the similarity in our life. What I found after I done the first test. I found similarities. This is an umbrella. It's a lovely piece of art. So what do I have on umbrella? It's this round shape, which you can make the end of any round pipe. Now if you look to an umbrella, this area is the cut. This is the segment you divide your pipe. Every segment, in how many segments you like. Get an umbrella, for example, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's got 8 areas. Let's call them 8 cuts. 8 cuts. And then you just bend every area slowly, and then you weld them, and then you just polish it. And this is my first similarity, an umbrella. So let's go back in the shop, and from a nice beautiful umbrella do a nice piece of art. It's a tip from George, in here on camera. I've done my cuts from top to bottom, straight cuts, no problem. Now I'll try to round here and achieve that flower petal to each one of them before I start bending them. Very simple. And we get each one of them to give it a round shape. Have a look. It's coming to a shape which gets around and okay, so far hammering I'm close to achieve that round shape. That round shape I told you we're going to, for any purposes you might think, and I showed you a couple of them. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep inserting my grinding disc into my cuts, so I make more room for my segments to bend in until as close I can to the center. No be worried if you have a little bit of a hole there and it's not perfectly joined by the parts, because you are a welder, you can add some filler wire and you can just grind it. Alright, I'm gonna do some more, insert my disc in, bend it a little bit more, then I'll weld it. Here's the final adjustment, hammering it slowly. What do you guys reckon? After we weld it, can we get the round shape I told you? I think this little gap over there should not be an issue for any welder. You can fill it up with some filler wire. Beautiful. So, it's a tip from George, from our studio Transylvania here in Canberra, in Australia. So we'll weld it and then we'll get to polish it. Just one single other tip. Try to make a tack here in between these elements, right up here on the top, where all these cuts are joining, right on the top. Just a tack. Then make a couple of tacks in the middle and you probably set to weld it. So start with the top, couple of tacks, slowly. If you see any deformations you want to correct with the hammer, correct with the hammer. Just managed to weld it. The weld is not perfect. What matters what you get at the end. What matters is the idea I try to release out there, how to get that nice round hand. Now again, it's a skill to use the grinder and grind it nicely and beautiful and achieve something like this, or be able to do something like this. So, pretty easy. We'll keep going and I'll show you the end result. Well, let's start a bit of grinding out here, especially in Australia. It's nice and sunny, so my shade is very little. Let's use the right gear. If you got an apron, please use it. I don't have an apron, I'm using some pants, you know, stuff like that. I don't care if I burn them. So glasses, your ear protection, use your gloves, and be very careful to your partner which is filming right now. Now I'm just grinding most of the welds. As you can probably see, it's nice and round. It's not perfect round, but it's round. It's still an idea, it's still a tip. Just watch the motion of my hand with the grinder. I go left and right across all the time. So I'll just let you have a close look how I use my hand from the wrist with the grinder. It's a technique you can easily probably achieve by practicing. We'll come to an end where you're gonna feel your muscles of your hand they hurt a little bit, but it's good. I have used only one single pad, sanding pad, to take all this 60 grit. I achieved this round shape. Hope you can see it. It's nice. It's round. It's beautiful. I'm gonna change from the sanding pad to the scotch-brite pad so I can get a nice polishing. Also, when you work on a handrail, most of the grains they go around like this, so therefore you will have to do the work with the grinder as the grains go. Once we polish it and we achieve the surface we like, it will look beautiful. It's a little bit of work, but for handrails, if you work out, well, you should probably make more of these ends in the shop and then go out and just weld them around and do the grinding. It's another idea. If it suits you, if you get the results, that's all it matters. So we'll swap now. I got a scotch-brite pad. This is my tip. It's nice and round and beautiful. From a circular shape you end up having a round end like a ball. You can polish it more, and I'll go in and polish it a little bit more, giving a little bit of buffering, and I'll get it more shiny and nicer, much more beautiful surface inside. So I'll do that and I'll show it in. I'll show it to you at the end in its beauty, how it's supposed to look like. Okay, just stay with me, I haven't finished yet. Don't go. I'm gonna give a little bit more polishing on my round shape, on my linear here, and then the buffer. I use a scotch-brite belt, a buffer, and some wax to give it a nice final polishing. Of course, if you go out there and you use it for handrails, you can do these ends in a shop or you can do them at home, and you can always be prepared just to do the final weld. So you can make them even smaller and not really like 100 mil long or so, just 50 mil or 60 mil, whatever suits you. And based on this idea you can achieve this. Based on this idea you can make other things beautiful. Of course you wouldn't be able to get a glass because you need to polish it inside, isn't it? But that's a long process. So yeah, depends how much you want to spend in making things. But this is the idea of making round from our studio Transylvania, from George here in Canberra. So I'm giving it to you. Now it belongs to you. So I'll show you how to do the rest of it. Yeah, just about the end of this idea of mine. Yeah, it's not leaking. Just about the end. So, from that round pipe I showed you, this round shape, made out of grinder, made out of a welder, and a couple of polishing tools. So, this is just the outside of this shape. Like I said, to have something like this, you need to polish it inside. You wouldn't be able to drink it because of your welds. But if you look at them, they're so nice. So don't go. Now you can understand how much more arts you can do with this tip of George, with this trick. No matter the size of the pipe, the diameter, you can do lots of things. I showed you the idea, I hope you got it, I hope you understood it, and I hope you're gonna work on it and it'll be useful to you. So, yes, these two beautiful things, right? It's round at the end, it's so beautiful. Grinder, welder, and polishing gear. Voila. So let me do one more thing for you right now and we close this video. Don't go, stay there. So from George here in Canberra, from my little shed, my little place called Art Studio Transylvania, a tip, an idea, a glass of red wine now during these holidays. I'd like to wish you around the world, wherever you are, very happy new year, and lots of beautiful moments with your families, and let's hope we're gonna see each other in the year to come with more beautiful things, and the new year to come will bring us more changes and we'll be able to change lots of things as well. So from our studio Transylvania, I'm right-handed. Happy New Year to the whole world. Happy New Year to everybody. Put a big smile on your face. And let's make our life better forever. Cheers.